אני רוצה לברך על כל ישראליתים בישראל, בהרבות כנפות של הארץ, וראשוני בברזיל. כאן אסף בנמי קריספין, כהן של יישוב ישראלית פררה ברטו, העיר פררה ברטו, מדינה São Paulo, Brazil. Here, the elder Asaf Benami Crispim Levi, and I would like to talk with you about the Torah. We're studying the YHUH's commandments. We stopped at the number 80. We're going to the number 81. The firstling of a donkey must be redeemed. And I'm going to call you for read with me at the book Shemot 34:20. 34:20. But the firstborn of a donkey, you ransom with a lamb, and if you do not ransom, then you shall break his neck. Every firstborn of your sons you shall ransom, and they shall not appear before me empty-handed. Well, the firstling of a donkey must be redeemed, because the donkey was free to be offered to YHUH, and you could ransom each by a lamb. Instead of a donkey, you offered a lamb to YHUH. When it was born, the donkey, you then changed it for a lamb to be offered to YHUH. Well, we're going to see this in the oral law, this item number 81. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 49, verse 11. Bereshit, chapter 49, verse 11. Binding his donkey to the vine, and his donkey's coat to the choice wine. He washed his garments in wine, and his robes in the blood of grapes. Then you can see here that the blessing of Jacob's about Jacob's children, and when it speaks about Yehudah, bind his donkey to the vine and his donkey's coat to the choice vine. He washed his garments in a wine and his robes in the blood of grapes. Okay, well, because this it refers to the changing of a donkey by a lamb. Okay, well, let's see this item. The firstling of a donkey must be redeemed. Okay. Yohanan Moshe, Mark, chapter 11. Yohanan Moshe, Mark, chapter 11, verse 2 to 7. And it says, it says yes. Okay. And said to them, go into the village opposite you, and immediately entering into it, you shall find a colt tied, on which no one has sat. Loosen it and bring it. And if anyone says to you, why are you doing this? Say, the master needs it, and shall send it back straight away. So they went away and found the colt tied by the door outside on the street, and they loosened it. And some of those standing there said to them, what are you doing, loosening the colt? And they said to them, as YHUH had said. So they let them go. And they brought the colt to YHUH, and threw their garments on it, and he sat on it. Well, although the colt or the donkey was changing by one lamb, but the colt or the donkey served for other things. For example, when the kings were anointed, they sat upon one donkey, okay, and the people announced, Raim or Lech Ramelech. Then we're going to see the item number 82. If the firstling of a donkey is not redeemed, its neck must be broken. Okay? If the firstling of a donkey is not redeemed, its neck must be broken. Shemot 13:13, Exodus 13:13. Shemot, Exodus, chapter 13, verse 13. But every firstborn of a donkey you are to ransom with a lamb, and if you do not ransom it, then you shall break its neck, and every firstborn of a man among your sons you are to ransom. Well, and this donkey, and it must be broke his neck, or to be easy to prepare him for the people to mount upon it. If you do not rescue the donkey for a lamb, you must cut your crines. And every firstborn of a man among your sons you are to ransom. But every firstborn of a donkey you are to ransom with a lamb. And if you do not ransom it, then you shall break its neck. No, break its neck, okay. And in loco, but theoretically, because you prepared this donkey to be mounted at the future. Okay. Well, let's see this item H1, the firstling of a donkey must be redeemed. In the oral law, in the Job's times, Abraham's times, Yitzhak times, because there were no grammatical languages, just the cuneiform written and the hieroglyphical written in that time. Item number 82. Bereshit 49:11. Bereshit 49:11. Binding his donkey to the vine and his donkey's coat to the choice wine. He washed his garments in wine and his robes in the blood of grapes. Oh yes, it speaks about the YHUH. Okay, YHUH. In YHUH's times, this item number 82, Yohanan Moshe 11:2-7. And we read this item already, and it speaks about the anointing of Yahushua by the streets of Jerusalem. Okay, and the donkey served for that, but you could not offer him as a sacrifice. Okay. Well, item number 83. 83. All tithes and offerings must be brought to the temple of Yahweh. All tithes and offering must be brought to the temple of Yahweh. Devarim 2:5-6. Devarim 12:5-6. Devarim 12:5-6. Devarim 12:5-6. And Yahweh came down in the column of cloud and stood in the door of the tent, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went. In the door of the, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. And he said, "Hear now my words. If your prophet is of Yahweh, I make myself known to him a vision, and I speak to him in a dream." And this item, all tithes and offering must be brought to the temple of Yahweh. Sorry, okay, I cited Devarim 12:5-6. It's Devarim. Devarim 12:5-6. Sorry, I read Bemidbar. Devarim. Sorry, I read Bemidbar. I ask forgiveness. I apologize. Devarim 12:5-6. But seek the place which Yahweh, your Elohim, choose out of all your tribes, to put his name there for his dwelling place, and there you shall enter. And there you shall take your burnt offerings and your tithes, and the contribution of your hand, and your vowed offerings, and your voluntary offerings, and the firstlings of your herd and of your flock. Then, when in the times of Hamoedim, the feasts, appointed feasts, the persons took their tithes to Jerusalem, to the temple, okay. But when this temple, there was not in Jerusalem, they offered their contribution, the maaser, in the place in your city, in their cities, where the Levite was there. Then all tithes offering must be brought to the temple of Yahweh. This when the temple exists in that place, in Jerusalem. You can see the example, we're going to see the example in the oral law that Abraham offered his tithe and his offerings at Mamre in Mesopotamia. Okay, well, let's see in the oral law. Oral law, this item number 83. 83. Shemot 5, 1, 2, 3. Shemot 5, 1, 2, 3. Shemot 5, 1, 2, 3. And afterwards Moshe and Aaron went in and said to Pharaoh, "Thus said Yahweh Elohim of Israel, let my people go, so that they keep a festival to me in the wilderness." And Pharaoh said, "Who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I do not know Yahweh, nor am I going to let Israel go." And they said, "The Elohim of the Hebrews has met with us. Please let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and slaughter to Yahweh our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword." Then you can see that in this time, when the Torah was not written yet, that Yahweh said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go. So then offer me a feast into the desert," the place where the Israelite people, even in tribulation, they needed to take Yahweh, their sacrifice, their offerings. Okay. Well, to finalize, we're going to see in the Torah in YHUH's time, in his Talmudim as well. This item number 83. Luke chapter 2, verse 41 to 47. Luke 2, 41, 47. Luke 2, 41 to 47. And his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the festival of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the practice of the festival. When they had accomplished the days, as they returned, the child YHUH stayed behind in Jerusalem. And his parents did not know it But thinking he was in the company, they went a day's journey and were seeking him among the relatives and friends. And not having found him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to be after 3 days, that they found him in the set aparted place, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. Then we can see here that Yahushua and his parents went to Jerusalem because the feast of the Passover, uh, to take his or their offerings, because it is written in the Torah. Shalom lekulam, Israelitim beIsrael, Ibiarbot Kamfot Shel Haaretz, Zor Ratefilá Shel Torah-Assaf Benami Crispim Levi, YHUH Israelite Brasil. Shalom lehitraot ad Rayon Rashmi Rabah.